Hello friends, students of Standard 9th. Today we shall study Science 2, Chapter number 7, Energy Flow in an Ecosystem. And I myself, Master Zakir Hussain Deshpande, will help you understand this chapter. So let's start with this chapter. First topic for the chapter is energy flow in an ecosystem. Before beginning with this topic, I will explain what is an ecosystem. Ecosystem is a community of living organisms together with the non-living components of their environment, means abiotic factors, and interacting as a system. So here the living organism, they stay with non-living organisms in their environment, and how they interact with that system, that is called an ecosystem. The classification of living organism according to the mode of nutrition is done in four groups. First one is producers, second is consumers, third one is saprotrophs, and fourth one is decomposers. First one will take primary consumers. They are also called as herbivores. Example, grasshopper, squirrel, elephant, etc. They are directly dependent on autotrophs. They are called producers. Autotrophs means plants. Plants have the ability to prepare their own food. That's why they are called as autotrophs. And in ecosystem, they are called as producers. They produce their own food. Secondary consumers, they are called as carnivores. Example, frog, owl, fox, etc. These consumers use herbivores as their food. So they are not preparing their own food, they are depending on herbivores for their food. Next is apex or top consumers. They are also called as carnivores. Example, tiger, lion, etc. Tiger, lion don't prepare their food, they eat other animals. These consumers use herbivores and carnivores as their food. No other animals feed on top consumers. So this apex means last or topmost consumers. Omnivores, that is called mixed consumers. Example, humans, bear, etc. feed on herbivores, carnivores, and producers. We are omnivores. Next topic is food chain and food web. Interactions go on continuously between producers, consumers, and saprophytes. There is a definite sequence in this interaction which is called the food chain. Interaction, they are depending on each other. Who? Producers. Producers are consumed by consumers. So consumers are depending on producers, and consumers are in return are dependent on producers. Saprophytes depends on consumers. So there is a proper chain formed between them. This definite sequence in these interactions is called as food chain. Each chain consists of 4, 5 or more links. An ecosystem consists of many food chains that are interconnected at various levels. Thus, a food web is formed. So, food chains, when they are interlinked or they are interconnected, they forms a food web. Food chain example I can take. You can see in the picture, grasshopper is eating grass and frog is eating grasshopper. Frog is eaten by snake, snake is eaten by hawk, and hawk is eaten by microorganisms. So, if I remove frog from the chain, what will happen? What will happen? Grasshoppers number will increase, snakes will not be able to survive, and there will be disturbance or there will be imbalance in food chain, and it will also affect food web. An organism may be the prey for many other organisms. For example, an insect feeds upon leaves of various plants, but the same insect is the prey for different animals like frog, wall lizards, birds, etc. So one insect can be prey for many other animals. If this is to be shown in a figure, it will form an intricate means complicated web instead of a linear food chain. Such an intricate network is called as web. Food web is the intricate, it's not a linear food chain, it's a complex food chain. Next topic is energy pyramid. Trophic level. Each level in the food chain is called a trophic level. A trophic level is the step at which the organism obtains its food in the chain. The amount of matter and energy gradually decreases from producers at lowest level to top consumers at the highest level. So it goes on decreasing. The amount of matter, the trophic levels, energy, or the amount of matter and energy gradually decreases from producers at lowest level to top consumers at the highest level. Now, what is trophic level? We have studied each level in the food chain is called trophic level. A trophic level is the step at which the organism obtains its food in the chain. In the food chain, each living organism obtains its food chain. That is called trophic level. Next topic you can study is pyramid of energy. There are different levels of energy exchange in the food chain. The initial quantity of energy goes on decreasing at every level of energy exchange. Similarly, the number of organisms also decreases from the lowest level to the highest level. This pattern of energy exchange is called, in an ecosystem, is called pyramid of energy. So in picture you can see pyramid of energy in an ecosystem. The bottom one is phytoplanktons, above it is zooplanktons, fishes, then humans. So humans, the energy level, the pyramid has the energy of 10 kilocalories, fishes have 100 kilocalories, zooplanktons have 1000 kilocalories, and phytoplanktons have 10,000 kilocalories. So this is the energy pyramid. There are different levels of energy exchange in the food chain, and this initial quantity of energy goes on decreasing at every level of energy exchange. Similarly, the number of organisms also decreases from the lowest level to the highest level. This pattern of energy exchange is called pyramid of energy. After the death of an apex consumer, their energy becomes available to the decomposer. So a lion dies, lion will be eaten up by decomposers. Fungi and other microorganisms decompose the bodies of dead animals. They are called decomposers. So one who decomposes other living organism is called as decomposers. In the process of obtaining food from the remains of organism, decomposers convert them into simple carbon compounds. So they actually decomposer helps to convert the living organism which was dead into a simple carbon compound. These substances easily mix with air, water and soil, from where they are again absorbed by plants and incorporated into food chain. So food chain is maintained because of decomposers. The sun is the most important source of energy in any ecosystem. Green plants of ecosystem store some of the solar energy in the form of food. Before reaching the decomposers, this energy is passed on from one trophic level to the next. Decomposers dissipate some amount of energy in the form of heat. However, no part of the energy returns to the sun. Hence, such passage of energy is referred to as one-way transport. So, sun is the most important source of any type of ecosystem. Green plants of the ecosystem store some of solar energy in the form of food. So, energy is produced, but it is not returned to the sun. So, that is the reason why it is called as one-way transport. Next topic is biogeochemical cycle. Though the energy flow in an ecosystem is one way, flow of nutrients is cyclical. It is not one way. The flow of nutrients will be cyclical. It will not be one way. All organisms need nutrients for their growth. The cyclical flow of nutrients within an ecosystem is called biogeochemical cycle. So this cyclical flow is nothing but of obtaining nutrients for their growth by living organism is called biogeochemical cycle. There are two types of biogeochemical cycles. First one we'll study is gaseous cycle. An accumulation of the main biotic gaseous nutrients material is found in soil. The Earth's atmosphere includes nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, etc. So accumulation of the main abiotic gaseous nutrients in the soil, in the Earth's atmosphere, but in the form of gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor. So this is called gaseous cycle. Sedimentary, an accumulation of the main nutrients material found in the sedimentary rocks of the earth includes soil components like iron, calcium, phosphorus, etc. The difference is there. Gaseous cycle you will find gases, and here you will find in sedimentary rocks you will find components like iron, calcium and phosphorus. They are not gases, they are elements. So that was the difference between gaseous cycle and a sedimentary cycle. They both are biogeochemical cycle. The circulation and recycling of carbon from the atmosphere to living organism and after that back to the atmosphere is called the carbon cycle. So what is carbon cycle? The circulation and recycling of carbon from the atmosphere to the living organism and after their death back to the atmosphere is called carbon cycle. So there is a circulation between living organism, and after the living organism uses that carbon, again the same carbon is sent back to the atmosphere. So there is a cyclical order. Such cycle is called carbon cycle. So carbon is recycled. Plants convert carbon dioxide into carbohydrates by the process of photosynthesis. Similarly, they produce carbon dioxide like proteins and fats too. Herbivores feed upon plants. Carnivores feed upon herbivores. In this way, the biotic carbon is transported from plants to herbivores, from herbivores to carnivores, and from carnivores to apex consumers. So you can see the order from producers to carnivores, herbivores to carnivores, and carnivores to apex consumers. So carbon is getting converted from one consumer to another. Eventually, after that, all types of consumers are decomposed by decomposers like bacteria and fungi, and carbon dioxide is released again into the atmosphere and is used again by living organism. In this way, carbon is continuously passed on from one living organism to another. After the death of living organism, carbon goes back and is again taken up by living organism. So there is a cyclic manner of carbon, and this cyclic order is called carbon cycle. You can see in the picture a cattle is eating grass, consuming carbon. Next topic, the oxygen cycle. Children, we know oxygen forms 21% of the atmosphere. It is also presented in the hydrosphere and lithosphere. Circulation and recycling of oxygen within the biosphere is called oxygen cycle. So, atmosphere contains 21% of the oxygen. It is also presented in hydrosphere and lithosphere. It's not only present, oxygen is not only present in atmosphere, it is also present in hydrosphere as well as in lithosphere. Oxygen is continuously produced as well as used up in the atmosphere. It is continuously produced, it is not stopping. Oxygen is highly reactive and it readily reacts with other elements and compounds. As oxygen is found in various forms like molecular oxygen, water, carbon dioxide, inorganic compounds, etc. The oxygen level of the biosphere is extremely complex. So every level you can find oxygen. Oxygen is continuously produced as well as used in the atmosphere. Plants produces oxygen and it is continuously used up by living organisms. So continuous process it is, and this is in a cyclic order. Oxygen is found in various forms like molecular oxygen, water vapor, and carbon dioxide. Next cycle is nitrogen cycle. Children, we also know that atmosphere contains 78% of nitrogen. That is maximum portion of the atmosphere is nitrogen. It is necessary for the maintenance of the cycle of nature, the circulation and recycling of nitrogen gas into the forms of the different compounds through various biotic and abiotic processes in nature is called nitrogen cycle. So nitrogen cycle is necessary for the maintenance of the cycle in nature. This circulation and recycling of nitrogen gas in the form of different compounds through various biotic and abiotic. So biotic living organism, plant, and abiotic animals. Abiotics are soil, etc. So this circulation is called nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen, important processes of nitrogen cycle. Why nitrogen cycle is important? Nitrogen fixation, conversion of nitrogen into nitrates and nitrites through atmospheric, industrial and biological processes. Ammonification, release of ammonia through decomposition of dead bodies and excretory waste of organism. Nitrification, conversion of ammonia into nitrite and then nitrate. Denitrification, conversion of nitrogenous compound into gaseous nitrogen. So these are the important processes of the nitrogen cycle. So children, small recap, we have studied about ecosystem, food chain, food web, and three types of cycle: carbon cycle, oxygen cycle, and nitrogen cycle. Now it's time for homework. First question for the homework is, give results. Why energy flows through an ecosystem is one way. Explain the following cycles in your own words with the suitable diagrams. You have to explain with the help of diagram: carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, and oxygen cycle. Children, you need to do this homework. It's compulsory. Thank you.